All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Rome. This is the Huawei Pura X Max. I've had it for a little while now, and I just want to go ahead and do a full review of it and talk about the pros and cons. And if you've seen any of my previous videos on this device, you are fully aware that I love this device, but I'm no fool. I am fully aware that this device has a lot of shortcomings. That's why I haven't recommended it a single time to you guys. I just like to talk about it and let you guys decide what you want to do because you're spending your money. And I just want to give you the information that you need to make a informed decision. Okay? All right. So let's get into it. All right. So jumping right in, let's talk about the display. On the front, you're going to get a 5.4-inch display. You're going to notice immediately it's different from any slab phone, any foldable phone that's out there currently right now. The closest thing that actually exists at the time of this posting of this video is the Pixel Fold as far as wide devices go, unless you want to look at something older than that. Okay. All right. So as it stands right now, this is going to be different from any slab phone. You can see right there, that's the Oppo Find X9 Pro. It's shorter and it's going to be a bit wider. This device won't be for everybody, and that's completely understandable. But for those that are interested, let's talk about it a little bit more. So what your experience is going to be like on a device like this if you're going to scroll social media. And I just wanted to bring a regular slab out just to show you guys side by side so you can know what to expect, what you're going to get. Now, all the stuff I'm going to show you guys is just, it's going to end up boiling down to your preference. So I'm going to put this side by side, turn the audio down. All right. So you can see here's the full post right here. So it's really, really tall. And you can see that it shortens it on here based on the size of the screen and so on and so forth. And if you were to click into that post, that's how things are going to look. It's still going to be shorter. You can see that a lot of the ceiling is missing up here. Some of his lower half is missing here. And you see that. Okay. This doesn't bother me whatsoever, but it may bother you. This may not be the thing for you. But if you're looking at a regular post and you're scrolling through your timeline, this is how it's going to look. All right. This doesn't bother me. I like it. And if I really, really want to just commit to scrolling on social media and I want that full experience, just open it up, rotate it. All right. Oh, did I click into? Oh, okay. I clicked into a post and now I refreshed this one. That sucks. So it's hard keeping these social media synced with each other, but I just want to show you guys how it looks. That's what your experience is going to be like on a regular slab. And this is what it's going to be like. You get a huge amount of space here. Just look at that. Vertically, they're very similar. But once you put them side by side that wide, it moves all of the icons off to the side. You get a different experience there. Okay. So that's if I fully want to commit there, but we're not even talking about the inner display yet. We're still talking about the outer display, what your experience is going to be like on different social media. Let's open Threads and you can see that that's how things are going to look. And let's say you want to respond to something, hit the comment. You can see how much how much space the keyboard takes up on the screen. I'm going to move this out of the way. We're done with that. All right. You're going to see how much the space the keyboard takes up on here and so on and so forth. Just want to show you guys how that looks. And let me go back to Instagram just so you can see that once again. Let's comment. You see how it minimizes the video and pulls the comments up here. Okay. And if I want to type, that's what the keyboard is going to look like. This may not work for you guys. I fully understand. Okay. So that's basically what the social media experience is going to be like. Let's say you want to consume media on the front display. We got a new Battlefield trailer here. Let's watch it. All right. So that's how it's going to look. Now, if I were to put these side by side, you can see that it's not that much different if you wanted to consume. Now, the vertical space changes considerably. Now, you can see that you don't see as much down below. Okay. And things change. Let's go ahead and put up the comment section on both. Look at that. That's how it's going to look. Okay. And if you want to rotate it, let's come out of the comment section. Rotate it. This is what your experience is going to be like. This is fine. And it has a much smaller footprint than a regular slab device. The footprint is smaller, so you have a smaller device. So the experience is just different. You know what I mean? If you don't care about how a smaller device and using this cover display to consume media and things like that, and we're going to get into this later, but look at this. We haven't even gotten into this yet. Look at that. You see, that's a game changer. You see what I'm saying? That is a game changer. But we'll get into that later. Let me stop that here and let's keep going. Once again, we haven't even made it to the inner display yet. We're still talking through. You can save your icon, your application combinations. That's what they're called. And you see that you can do your split here, your multitasking split. Switch between your apps. Very nice. Okay. And you can switch them around, blah, blah, blah. Bring them back up to be split screen. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So you can multitask on your front screen. Let's say you want to bring Instagram up in full display. You still have you can do your apps there. Now, I wonder, like, if you guys have watched a number of my videos, I like to test things out live. I was just curious. That would be cool if you can go into your multitask view and then just grab an app, drag it up, and take it into like that multitasking view or turn it into a window or something like that. So if I wanted to turn that one into a window and then I wanted to open threads, there we go. We're good. Look at that. So you do have options even on such a small display. I wouldn't multitask on this screen, but that you have the freedom to do whatever you want to do. Okay. All right. So that's how apps, the keyboard, things like that is going to look on the front screen. This is how it looks just holding it in hand. If I want to navigate through, and do different things. If I want to type, I'm going to talk about this keyboard a little bit later. I'm going to try to remember to cover it. It's one of the shortcomings of the Huawei device here in the US. When you're using Google Apps specifically, nothing works but the keyboard. Okay. So you can do your emojis and things like that. But if you want to do like predictive text or anything, it doesn't put any suggestions up there. Swipe the text doesn't work. None of that stuff really works on here. But my workaround for that, and that's one of the things that helps me keep interacting with the device. I love the device so much that I've just found workarounds for things. Okay. So what's up, Blue Sky? For this to be natively Chinese and things like that, and doesn't offer predictive text or so on and so forth, the voice dictation and voice to text is so accurate. And I'm speaking a little more clearly for you guys because I'm recording a video, but I am extremely Southern. So what's happening, y'all? It did not get y'all. Okay. And it capitalized the H ain't happening for some reason, but it tries. And I mean, this works more than well enough for me. Like, okay, remind me to tell y'all something later. Okay, it changed to you instead of y'all. But you see, I could talk relatively naturally and it'll pick it up. So like, I'm just talking to you guys, reviewing this device, going on and on and on, and it does fairly well. Now, I will say that I think it struggles with punctuation. See, it didn't put any punctuation in there whatsoever. But hey, it got all my wording right. I can go back through there and throw some punctuation in there or whatever. But that's my workaround for that. I just talk to it and it does really well. So I'm fine with that. It gets the job done for me. So what we're going to do now is just go ahead and transition over into this inner display. Look, and first things first, I gotta say it. Wallpapers look insane on this wide display. I love how wallpapers look on here. That whole desktop computer experience where you get that large wallpaper, that wide aspect ratio. Love it. Okay, moving on. Social media on the inner display. Let's revisit everything really quickly, okay? So this is how Discord looks. This is how Instagram will look. It auto rotates for some reason, but we can switch it back. You can see how it looks here. That may be a deal breaker for you guys, right? Okay. Let's see. Let's click in. That's how that looks. Ooh, but what I wanted to show you, which I thought was a nice use of the display area, Paul Wall is still making music. That's crazy. Okay, a nice use of these display area. Let's go ahead and go here. And it shows the previous reels and the next reel up. I thought that was really like an intelligent way to implement the use of this display. I don't know if it does that on desktop or not. I don't use Instagram on desktop, so I'm not sure. But look, I just thought that was just a cool way to implement that. That's so cool. Okay. And if, like I said before, previously, if I really want to just dive into doom scrolling on Instagram, something like that, just rotate the device. You get the full experience there. Just good stuff. So, okay. So that's what it's going to look like. Oh, let's go ahead and let's go back to this post right here. Let's say I want to comment. It brings the comments up to the side. And I could type and respond and say whatever I want to say. I just think this is really nice. I enjoy interacting with social media in this method. And if I want to rotate and go back in and comment again, once again, boom. So, I mean, I like it. All right. So moving on. That's how social media is going to look. I'm going to show threads. Same. Okay. If I want to commit, fully commit, go ahead, rotate, get that full experience. Okay. I'm trying to avoid X-Men 97 spoilers, but it's so difficult. Okay. And the same app pair that I opened on the front, you can see it there. And you can switch them left to right. Go into the multitask view from there. I wish that it would let you do the, oh, maybe if I rotate it this way. There we go. Okay, and then maybe I could do that. Nope, it won't let me. Okay, so that's why we test things out live. That's fine. All right, so here we are. We're back. So really quickly, let's go ahead and talk about the different multitasking options you have on here since we went ahead and opened up those two. So let's say I drag that over, go into the multitask view, and I want to add a third app. There's my Discord, okay? Just for gaming and stuff like that, not techie stuff, in case you guys are interested. It's not. I mostly use Shane Craig's Discord server for that, all right? And you can change how wide the apps are and so on and so forth. Now, Instagram, I guess you can't. Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. All right, now we're back. Okay, and you can switch back and forward. And, you know, you can just use that little slider to switch the aspect ratio of the app itself. So good stuff. Okay, so let's come out of that view. Let's go back in. We're going to drag this up to the split view where we were before. So these are the two options that you have. All right, let's go ahead and open Discord, and I'm going to open it into a floating window. And let's see if we can get back into that split view. Okay, so you can have your split view and a floating window, but you cannot. I don't think you can. I'm going to test it live. I like testing stuff live. Okay, it does close it. So it closes that floating window when you try to switch over to the multitask view. It does not want a floating window there, so you can't do that. So since I pulled YouTube up, I do want to transition a little bit into the shortcomings of some of the Google apps on this device, okay? So if you guys have watched any of the previous videos on this phone, you'll know that Easy Abroad is how you're going to pull Google apps onto this device. They sit in a container, and the device doesn't recognize them as fully installed apps on your device. So the native apps on your device don't typically see these apps. And vice versa, these apps don't typically see the full specifications of your device. So YouTube, for instance, you see how this section down here is empty? It should be like the description of the video, like, subscribe buttons, things like that. You don't have those there. You could rotate it and those will show up. See that? Okay. But when you're playing a video, let's say I want to watch like a 4K HDR OLED video. The video will come up, it'll play, but you're going to be limited to 1080p, no HDR. And my workaround that I have for that is only kind of a workaround. So you'll see that's 1080p. It still looks nice, but it's just really not high resolution like the video should be. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause that for one moment. I'm gonna go into my browser, and this same video, you'll see that it has 2160p. So it's higher resolution, but it's still not HDR. So that's why I said this workaround is just only kind of a workaround. Okay? But you just play it and everything looks really nice. All right, so yeah, as I was saying, everything looks really nice. I mean, this is my kind of a workaround so I get higher resolution video, but I just still, it can't tap the HDR. I don't know, it doesn't know what the device is capable of, I mean, especially since you're going through the browser and things like that, okay? Now, what I would be curious of, you know what? One moment, since we're here, since we're doing it, give me one moment, I'll be right back, okay? All right, so what I decided to do was go to YouTube through the native browser instead of using Chrome and see what, if anything changes. So this is a 8K video. Of course, it's going to limit me down to 2160p. Okay, it's still going through the browser, so still no HDR. I just wanted to test that. I like to test things. But that's still a beautiful video. Okay? The resolution issue or limitation, since these apps are not fully installed, that's going to play out across the board from Netflix to Twitch to Crunchyroll if you watch anime, Discovery Plus, so on and so forth. That's just how it's gonna behave on this phone, okay? All right, so now we're gonna jump over to the speakers and kind of let you guys hear those. And just in the interest of saving a little time, I'm gonna go ahead and crank this up to 50% roughly. I wish it had a percentage sign there, but that's just like just me being obsessive. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and play it roughly about 30 seconds, let you guys hear it, gather what you want to gather from that. Then we're going to do it again at full 100%. Okay, so going in. All right, so that's 30 seconds. The lows are really nice on here. And the speakers play a major role in media consumption. So that's, they add to the experience. So anyway, go ahead and crank it up to 100 and we're going back in. Okay, so you can take from that what you want to take from that. I would just say that I genuinely enjoy these speakers. I actually use this to play music when either I'm showering or I'm giving my son a bath or anything like that. I just like to have music playing in the background. It's just how I am. And I use this device. I choose this device over I'm testing out the Vivo X Fold 6 right now. Working on my full review, just spending time with it from day to day, along with this device. And when it's bath time, shower time, whatever, I pick up this device and take it with me. And this is where I play music on. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and jump over to haptics. All right, so since this device itself doesn't typically doesn't have like the haptics video like the Oppos have and Vivos, things like that, I'm just gonna pull up a video and just type and just talk about how the motors feel in hand. Okay. So while tapping the keys and things like that, I could say that the vibration it's nice. It's really nice. It feels refined. It doesn't feel clunky or really clicky. I may have said this in a previous video. I like my keyboards to be my mechanical keyboards to be clicky. I do not like my motors and my phones to be clicky. I like them to feel refined and vibrate nicely. So these are really nice, really refined. They get loud enough when you get calls and things like that. So you don't miss notifications, so on and so forth. They're really nice. They're really refined. I won't spend too much time here. They're nice. Okay. All right. So this segment is going to be on battery life and the AI assistant. And we're going to do the AI assistant first. So just a heads up, it does work kind of here in the US. And to my surprise, it responds to it knows that I'm speaking English and it'll do certain tasks in English, but sometimes it'll respond in Chinese, which is so odd to me. But watch this. Can you open YouTube for me? See, it opened YouTube, and that's not a native app on here. This is one installed through Easy Abroad. So I guess it talks to Easy Abroad, looks for YouTube, and then it opens it. So cool. All right. So watch what it does. Can you set a reminder for me at 4:30 p.m. for my son's swim class? See that? Okay. Can you say that in English for me?
Sure. Here's the English version of my previous response. The alarm for 下午4点30分 has been set with the note my son's swim class.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So let me stop it. It's cool. It works sometimes. So watch this. Watch this. I want to test one more thing. I'm really impressed that more of the Chinese OEMs, the companies that makes these phones, they're setting their companion to not only acknowledge that you're talking to it in English, but to respond in English sometimes, or to work with you a bit more. I like that. I mean, small wins, small victories. So watch this. Can you send a text to my personal cell that says hi?
没有找到我的个人手机，能帮我再确认一下发给谁吗？
Can you say that in English?
Sure. Here's the English version of my previous response. I couldn't find my personal phone number. Could you?
Can you send a message to my personal cell?
能帮我
Please say that in English.
Sure. Here's the English version of my previous response. I couldn't find your personal phone number. Could you please confirm me by this message?
So look, this is why we do things live. I just want you guys to see how that sounds and how it looks, how it behaves, okay? So the weird thing is it did do this earlier. So this time it's just not working. So I'm going to try it one more time. Can you text my personal cell and say hi? You see that? Now this time it popped up and it worked. So it depends on if it captures what you're saying accurately. Last time it changed what my cell like short for cell phone to sale like sale where you buy something for cheaper. So okay, perfectly fine. So the AI assistant does work on this device, but it is hit or miss because it is natively Chinese. But the fact that it does recognize that I'm speaking in English and it will open certain apps for me and do what I actually do, hey, that's a thumbs up for me. Okay. All right. So yeah, jumping over the battery, you have a 6300 milliamp hour battery in here. And these I guess it counted. Okay, so that's why it's showing 1 hour ago because I transferred some files to the computer, and I guess it took that as me, plugging up to the cable. It says it's charged. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I charged this phone yesterday. Let's see if it'll show you. Okay, to roughly around 9 p.m. and I've been using it all throughout the day. Let me come back out of that. Maybe I can take it back full screen. There we go. All right, so I've been using this phone this morning since I woke up, and I'm now at 2:30. I'm at 75%. I'm going to make it through the rest of this day. I've been pretty much recording content on this phone for a little bit now, trying to make this video. So this all makes sense. This all makes sense. And I keep coming back. Okay, so I'm at 75%. I'm going to make it through the rest of this day easily. This device does incredibly well with managing usage on this device. And I watch YouTube, I do social media, I do everything on here. Music, like you heard earlier in the video, when I take a shower, I listen to music. So I'm almost always using this device for something. And I don't worry about the battery dying on me. And if it does get low, it has like 60-watt fast charging on it. It charges up in less than 30 minutes. I'm good to go. I have no complaints about battery life on here whatsoever. All right. All right. So you may have noticed I spend a lot of time in this wide aspect ratio on camera because it's the same way I use this device off camera. I just love having this device open at almost 90% of the time, using it, interacting with it. Okay. So right now we're going to go ahead and jump into cameras and how I feel about the photos and things like that. Let me turn the audio back down so we don't blow our ears off. All right. So as you can tell, I've taken a few photos that I record my son. I've tinkered with settings in the camera and things like that. You can see that this is brighter while this video is darkened because I turned down the not the white balance, but I've turned down settings in there just to darken it, just to give it like a more moody look. And I thought it was nice. It does make it look like it's about to storm out there though, but it's not. It just wasn't super bright. I've taken macro shots. Look at that. These look really good. I'm actually really pleased with this. Like my actual favorite macro shot would probably be of these water droplets. That's so nice. That turned out beautiful actually. So the cameras on this device are really, really solid. Now I will say that they fall for the same thing, or they do the same thing that other Chinese companies do. I really need to go experience like a Samsung or a Pixel again, because it's been so long since I've interacted with them. I just don't remember. I just don't know what their current camera software does as far as like pictures and processing and things like that. But this device, just like the other Chinese devices, it falls prey to the AI processing, where it smooths out things that it can't really make out. And it does it, the more you zoom in, the more noticeable it is. You can see that this section right here is just really like smooth. It gives it kind of like a watercolor painting vibe to me. Not really a fan of that. I don't know why it does that. But then you have shots like with me and my friends. Like I focused on them and you could see that they came through so clear. They so silly. It came through so clear. You see that? And then vice versa, where I came through clear. Look at that. And they were blurred because I made it focus on my face. You see that? I really appreciate them for participating in that with me and helping me test these cameras. And then you have like these really nice macro shots. I just don't understand why things collapse once you start zooming in. It's just so odd to me. But if you have really still subjects or anything like that, and the lighting doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that, you can tell that those look really nice. I mean, I'm really impressed with the cameras on here. Even like here, I'm not even zoomed all the way in, but it still captures a really good amount of detail without just smudging everything with AI. And I'm still torn on whether I would rather capture the shot and have it be blurry as opposed to AI trying to clean it up. I'm torn on that. I think I would almost prefer to be kind of blurry like it is here. At least it feels more real. But that's all preference, people, okay? And I was trying to capture ants. I'm not a macro shot expert by any means or whatever, but I was trying. I was actually out there making an effort. And I'll talk about video, and I'm going to show all of this really big for you guys. I'm just talking through them as I'm working through. Oh, this is a good example of a bad AI shot. So right now it doesn't look bad, right? It doesn't look bad, but if you zoom in at all, you can tell that this AI is just making this up. It captured like what I was seeing out there, and it just tried to paint it to be clearer. And you really didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that. Like you could tell, it's like a little black blob there. So yeah, I mean, now to be fair, he was a good distance away. So it just really depends on what matters to you. Otherwise, photos are really nice on here. I even tried, let me make sure I get that audio turned down before it freaks out on me. But I even tried to use like the slow motion feature, and I just thought that was cool. I was just testing it out, making iced coffee, and I decided to test it out a little bit. And I just thought that was cool. The cameras are really good. And what I did was I just set it up on a countertop. One of the benefits of having a foldable is you can set the device on the countertop. I just did it like that, pointed it at the subject. I didn't have to get a tripod or try to prop it up or anything. I just propped it up like that and recorded. The cameras are really solid. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is show you the pictures and the videos I recorded while I was out testing out the Zoom and things like that. And you can judge for yourself, and then we'll come back and wrap this up, okay? All right, so I'm testing how the audio records on this device, but I'm also testing how well it switches from lens to lens on here. So that was ultra wide. This is 1x, 2x, 3x, 10x. And we can see how the stabilization holds up or not. I am shaking. I'm holding another phone in my hand, but hey, not everybody has ultra steady hands, so I just want to see how it handles it. It definitely gets better as you come out of the zoom. But yeah, not bad. All right, guys. So since you were able to look at those and kind of build your own opinion about those, I'll let you decide if those are good or bad for you. Okay. All right. So moving on. I did not cover notifications, which is another shortcoming of having Google apps on this device. Sometimes they'll appear like this, and I've kind of covered this in other videos. Guys, please go check out the other library of videos I have on this device. There are quite a few. They all have like different pieces of information in them, okay? But yeah, you have view details there. It won't give you the details. You won't know what it's about until you actually click into it, and it'll take you into the app and show you what it's about. So we'll do that, and I'll show you how that looks. And it opened up really quickly, really nicely, really smoothly. But there are other times, like with my Gmail, it'll actually show you like a little snippet of what the email is about. So it picks and chooses how each app shows information, whether it shows it or not. Okay. I don't know what that's about, but that's just how it works. But anyway, all right. So just for reference, this is how the phone looks up to your head. Wide device, kind of chunky, a little bit wider than usual, but not ridiculous by any means. Like you can see how it looks like. You could talk on this and not be uncomfortable in holding it or anything like that on this particular device. Now we'll see how it looks on other devices, but yeah, I really just want to do this full review for you guys because I've genuinely enjoyed my time with this device and will continue to enjoy my time with this device, even with things like the Samsung Z Fold 8, the wide version, right around the corner. Apple Ultra is supposed to be coming in a couple of months or whatever. I'm not holding out high hopes for them because I don't think they'll feel the need for me. I feel like the Samsung Z Fold 8 wide is going to be a little bit too tall for me, and the Apple Ultra is going to be too expensive. I'm not sure how I feel about those buttons being on the top of the device as opposed to on the side of what I'm used to. I mean, it may work out. It may actually be genius. We don't know. But I'm going to continue to enjoy this device, but I really want to do this full review for you guys just so you can see like there are shortcomings. And I didn't even mention network performance like calls and things like that because I've covered it in other videos, but it works fine. It doesn't say 5G at the top, and I would say that the speeds are not 5G, but they're good. You won't have any issues scrolling social media. I've tested this device in my gym, in different parts of town. I even live out here in like kind of like far where this is a new subdivision, so the signal strength is not as strong. This device still works very well. No issues, okay? So overall, take all that information and just decide for yourself, even if you're using this to help you decide whether you want the iPhone Ultra or the Samsung Z Fold 8 Wide. Yeah, I hope this helps. I mean, that's the point of this video. I just hope all this information helps and helps you decide what you want to do, okay? All right, so I really appreciate you guys being here. Feel free to like, subscribe. It helps. It goes a long way to help me continue to bring these devices to you guys. I'm working on memberships and things like that. I just want to make it worth your while before I implement anything like that. I'll start asking you guys to set up, hey, go ahead and, become a member of the channel and things like that. I'm working on all of that. I'll get there one day. I'm just trying to make it worth it, okay? All right, so until the next video, I'll catch you. All right, later.